with Andre earlier. He's going to talk about voice and AI.
Good evening, everyone. I like to do a little bit of crowd participation when I speak, so just want everyone to wave back at me. All right, making sure everyone's still alive. Good deal. All right, so I want to get my presentation kicked off today. We're going to talk about voice AI in the real world. So who's familiar with voice AI in the crowd? Awesome, awesome. I see some hands. That's a good thing. Everyone should be familiar. Probably some bad implementations. What first comes to mind, representative, this is terrible, right? And all kinds of fun things that everybody's been complaining to me about, clients that come to us, right? So typically we've seen a lot of bad implementations of it, but voice AI in the real world is what we want to talk about. So we'll start out with the $1,500 problem. My wife and I, we used to run and own the U-Break iFix in Wake Forest. That was an awesome learning experience in entrepreneurship. And part of that is the $1,500 problem, right? So what happened to us in Wake Forest, busy Saturday mornings, tons of people in the lobby, right? You can imagine the phones are ringing off the hook. I'm in the back, the techs are in the back, we're all fixing stuff. Nobody can get to a phone. What would have been nice at that time is if we had a voice AI to pick up, schedule a meeting, or get it to the right person. That technology, well, for us didn't exist at that time, right? But, if it did, we wouldn't have missed these sorts of things, right? So this pranks the framework and basically goes into a few statistics. 62% of calls go unanswered during peak hours this is particularly for small businesses, right? This is who we typically service, small to medium-sized businesses. 85% of those callers never call back. So think about it for yourself, right? If you're on Google, you need a service done. I think Eli and I were just talking about this, right? A little bit earlier. You're going to call the next one up, whoever answers next. So particularly for small and medium businesses, this gives them an edge if they have these types of AIs that are working for them 24/7, so they can always be available when needed, when implemented correctly. In addition to that, lots of lost money, 126K, that's a figure to play with as well. So the tooling finally caught up. So in the beginning, voice AI was very, very slow. It was sluggish. You had a lot of latency. It wasn't fun to use. It wasn't really production ready. It's finally there now, right? So we used to have 2 to 3 second latency, and all that good stuff. And now we're at 100 to 300 milliseconds typically. And then it was less than 80% speech recognition accuracy before. And now we're looking at 95% plus, thanks to those LLMs and various things, right? So there are so many use cases. We typically target, again, the small and medium businesses, right, for inbound, outbound, making, various calls out in conjunction with chat agents that we build and email and all those sorts of things to keep the business running. But you can also, and we're looking into this, I know one of my partners is actually here, I can't see, Jason, we're looking into some things about using voice AI to be a companion, because it can be used as well for people that can't necessarily talk to people, openly about certain things, not going into the HIPAA realm, but it can help and assist in various ways, right? So in addition to that, some people think, I don't know how many of you all have elderly family members in nursing rooms, that it would be awesome if they could talk to a voice AI. That could be a companion that keeps someone going. It keeps your will to live, and it's not weird and clunky anymore. I invite you guys to try it out. At the end, I'll give you a chance to, see how you can try our demo out and just talk to it, just to see what the technology is about, right? So we'll get back to the techie stuff. Let's see. Didn't hold my mouth quite right.
Nah, it's just the bar. You must have brushed it.
I got you. Thanks, Mark. All right. So the 300 millisecond rule. Human conversations operates in 300 to 500 millisecond response windows. If you go beyond 800 milliseconds, you lose that conversation, right? So you're looking at beyond 1.5 seconds. It feels like, those trash phone menus that we spoke about earlier, right? And we don't want that. Unfortunately, some companies still do have that, and it happens. So in addition to that, we're just going to talk about a little bit about the tech stack, right? We're going to dive a little bit into that. So we've got DeepGram, for speech to text. We've got Grok LLM or LLM of your choice. Everyone I'm sure is familiar with all the LLMs that are available, right? 11 Labs for text to speech, which is not necessarily open source, but there are open source models as well for TTS. Several out there that I should have included in the slide, but we can definitely chat about if anyone's interested in those, and your total pipeline. So in addition to that, there are two sides of voice AI. I touched on a little bit earlier. You've got the inbound side and the outbound side, right? The inbound side is going to customer calls in, is very reactive, qualifies the leads, routes to departments, captures demand 24/7, books appointments, right? The outbound side is a little bit different. You have to be very careful with those use cases as far as outbound goes, because it can go off the rails. You don't want people, upset at you for calling them all sorts of hours. You have to govern that. Governance is a huge thing with inbound as well as outbound. We want to make sure that we're using it safely. We want to make sure that we're calling the correct people and doing the correct things with that technology, because it's great power, but yet it's great responsibility as well. So the follow-up sequences, particularly with this shines for us, is that, hey, confirming appointments, right? So let's say you've got an HVAC company and you wanted to confirm that the next person's coming, the technician's coming out. Voice AI can do that for you. It can confirm that outbound technicians there. It can do NPS, right? Follow-ups as far as customer surveys and ensuring that, hey, this person did a good job. People are a little bit more open to chat and give you the real deal when you're on the phone versus through text. Text, you'll just click, give them a 5-star rating, 1, 2, 3, that's it. But voice, you get to expand and really find out what the deal is. Let's see, architecture at scale. All right, as I mentioned, we do this for small, medium, and enterprise businesses. Sub 10 employees is typically smaller businesses. 100 to 10 to 100 employees, medium, and 100 above, give or take, is the enterprise, and different tech stacks for each. So a little bit about the stack, right? STT, speech to text, audio to text. A couple of technologies there are Whisper, DeepGram, and Vosk. LLMs, different LLMs. Everyone's familiar with that, I'm sure, as well. The GPTs of the world, the Claudes, the Llamas, the Groks, the Claude, which is my personal favorite. Got some orchestration going on with, each LLM calling the other to do some work. TTS, right, which is text to audio. Chatterbox, 11 Labs, as well as the telephony, so SIP trunking, Twilio, WebRTC, just to name a few, and like I said, orchestration as well. Gotcha. All right. And open source frameworks, LiveKits agents, PipeCat, and Vado. And we're going to get through with the Whisper frameworks. These are just a few frameworks as well that you guys can take a look at, take a picture of, feel free to screenshot it, and the harp. Yeah, sure thing. One more? Gotcha, no problem. Sorry to rush through, guys. I just wanted to be time conscious. All right, all good? Awesome. So the hard parts are integration, right? That's where the work is. 70% of the integration, 70% of the work goes to integration. Lots of latency issues, all that good stuff in the beginning. Things are a lot better now. Just to sum it up, in the interest of time, I will give this slide deck to anyone that's interested. And the hard parts continue. Scale changes everything. OpenAI, real time. So the money is flowing. My deck is a little bit long there. So we've got the money is flowing in. It's going crazy as far as voice AI and the market shares there. The stack is ready as well. Probably want to take a picture of that. And I would love to connect to everyone. And the next slide shows you exactly how to connect. We've got a few things there. We're looking for some talent with my team. So I will put up the QR code as well as the website to contact me. It has all my contact information. If you'd like to touch base, I'd love to touch base with each and every one of you. And thank you all for your time. Thank you, Todd, so much for putting this event together. And thank you, Mark, as well.
All right.
Yeah, future state. I think what we're looking to do through MS3IT as well as our partner network, just be able to offer solutions like at different tiers, right? So right now the technology is newer, it's emerging, but we want to be able to offer it to everyone. So you can just, have if you're starting out and you don't have the budget, if you have $50 a month, we've got a plan for you. You get X amount, and then you can just fire it off. It doesn't take much to think about it. You can just get it done.
Right.
You spoke about the next generation and technology as well as, us and maybe, I hate to say it like this, but the boomer generation, right? Being afraid of technology. Technology, it makes a terrible, a terrible master, but a great servant, right?
Okay.
So it serves you well if you learn how to utilize it. And I would encourage everyone to learn how to utilize it to make you faster, better, more efficient, learn more. Not necessarily, try to be afraid of it because you think it's going to replace everything. There will be some things, but, the world constantly evolves because, we're not riding around on horses anymore. We're driving cars. This is the next step in the evolution.